Like, Caitlin Clark spent 20 minutes signing autographs. She made her way 2/3 of the arena. She signed literally hundreds of autographs. She signed hundreds of autographs. And if you guys didn't see that game today, there were as many Fever fans as there were Sky fans.
Chicago was slammed like a freight train by the phenomenon that the WNBA has been trying to comprehend collectively for more than a year, bringing with it attendance records and autographs. However, it wasn't even about what transpired on the court this time. It was quite the spectacle as Indiana Fever destroyed the Chicago Sky 93-78.
So once again, the god Caitlin Clark came in Brick Barbie's house, scraped her goofy ass even on her off day, and took over her arena, signing autographs. You see, Black Clan, this is what the face of the league looks like, ladies and gentlemen. Caitlin Clark, everybody wanting to get a signature of the most electrifying woman in women's basketball, man. Bricklayer.
No, this had to do with something far more poetic and damaging to Angel Reese's swagger from his hometown. This was about Caitlin Clark entering Angel Reese's hallowed basketball court, the United Center, sitting on the bench with a groin injury, and managing to steal the show.
Happened to Miss Angel Reese. She's all in Indiana during All-Star, and her Reebok campaign, come to your trap, take over your trap. What happened to that? Because it looked like Caitlin Clark went to Chicago and took the city over. It looked like she took the city over. She took your trap over. Caitlin Clark, it was more fans running. They was running down on Caitlin Clark like she was Michael Jordan.
Due to a back ailment, Angel Reese is unable to play. Due to a strained groin, Caitlin Clark has missed 4 games in a row. Nevertheless, it might as well have been the Pope himself on that Indiana Fever bus when it arrived in Chicago. Before the game even began, the United Center, a 20,000-seat venue that was chosen for this particular game because to the WNBA's real queen, was converted into Clark's personal autograph signing convention.
And if Fever played the Chicago Sky on Barbie Night, of which Angel Reese was not in the game. She is who Barbie Night is pretty much named after, but she is out with a back injury. As a matter of fact, many of their players are out. Mariah Jefferson is out. Haley Van Lith is out. Again, Angel Reese is out. So this game, in my mind, was pretty much a lock. And I gotta say, it was not the funnest game. And the fact that the Chicago Sky even brought it back, they were just killing them by the first half.
Subscribe if you're enjoying it. Without actually playing the game, this is the most exquisite example of basketball dominance. Clark walked around the United Center and signed autographs for fans for 20 full minutes. 2/3 of the arena was traversed by her. She continued even after security attempted to shuffle her into the tunnel as if she were a common player. She persisted because that's what legends do when they recognize their role in the cosmos.
Estoy bien nerviosa.
The shocking revelation that follows should cause any Angel Reese fan to reevaluate everything they believe to be true about basketball hierarchy. These were not Chicago-based fans of the Indiana Fever. These were Chicago supporters frantically vying for Caitlin Clark's signature at Angel Reese's home court in Chicago. Even though Caitlin Clark is injured and only sits on the bench, she has standards, thus she graciously denied a fan's request to autograph Chicago Sky gear.
Later, you can never do this in Indiana or in any arena, because we don't come to see you, bricklaying sloth. Caitlin Clark is the official owner of Chicago, man. It's time that y'all build a Caitlin Clark statue in Chicago in front of the Chicago Sky Arena, man. Because Clark just comes over and takes over the arena with all the dozens and dozens of people, boys, girls, everybody wanting to see the god Caitlin Clark, ladies and gentlemen.
For about 30 minutes, the woman was signing basketballs, jerseys, and everything else that spectators threw at her. With the shame of someone who knows that her own existence is an event, she did it. Angel Reese, meanwhile, was probably recovering from her back ailment someplace, watching her home audience go crazy over her fiercest opponent, who was unable to even put on her trainers that day. Mitchell lost 35 points. She scored 35 points on 7 3-pointers, marking her 9th 30-point effort and 100th career 20-point game. In addition, she recorded her 200th career steal, good for second place in team history, only to Thomas' 20-point game catches.
Was just on another level today, man. Oh my goodness. I'm talking about the hustle, the steal, the drive, the shot making, the making the threes. Fam, it was just really a dominant performance from her, man. Really looking like one of those superstars. All right. She looked like a pure superstar today, man. However you want to chalk it up. All right. Had 35 points. 35 points.
This was more than simply a basketball game. Mitchell was letting the basketball world know that the Fever are multi-layered. Mitchell has been subtly constructing a resume that would make most guards envious, while everyone has been fixated on Clark's every move. She is the ideal match for Clark's genius. A seasoned professional who can step up when called upon and step up when the spotlight is on her. Angel Reese and the Sky, without their own great player, only scored 78 points and shot a pitiful 32.1% from the field. They shot a pitiful 20% from three-point range and had 23 turnovers, which the Fever turned into 31 points. It was the type of performance that makes you question whether it could be psychologically detrimental to have your fiercest rival supporters chanting in your own stadium.
The Chicago Sky getting their asses blown out by 40, it's just another shining example of the delusion that runs through the WNBA. Like, some players in the WNBA really truly believe that they play basketball on like skill on par level as men in the NBA. These women in the WNBA are a Bush League junior varsity high school basketball team. It would be one thing if like you're shooting and your shots just weren't falling and your percentage was just like low for the night. But this is just absolutely an embarrassing display of what is described as the best of the best level of basketball.
There was more to what transpired in Chicago on July 27th than a single match or player. The entire concept of what it meant to be a draw in professional sports was at issue here. The second best-selling basketball jersey in the United States is that of Caitlin Clark. Not only the WNBA, but basketball in general, with Stephen Curry as the only person behind them, player-specific WNBA clothing sales have increased 1,000% year-over-year as a result of her goods. Nearly 3 times as many people watch games with Clark as other WNBA games, with an average viewership of 1.178 million. The average attendance at Indiana Fever games is 1,684, which is over twice as many than at non-Fever games, 8,552. Attendance at Clark performances in places like Atlanta and Washington soars. Washington's fan base increases from 4,988 to 20,522, while Atlanta's attendance increased from 3,316 to 17,592. This Chicago moment, however, was unique. Caitlin Clark demonstrated that her impact goes beyond geography, team devotion, and even her availability to play. In her rival's hometown, she converted a 20,000-seat arena into her own meet and greet. She also performed it while recovering from an injury and dressed in street clothes.
And like, by the way, like, people didn't know whether or not Caitlin was playing that game until the very end. There are hundreds of fans that were there to see Caitlin Clark play. On the off chance Caitlin Clark would be able to sign something. She was there. She spent like 20 minutes autographing everything. So here's Caitlin Clark signing autographs for 2 minutes 20 seconds. There are just a serious amount of fans. I don't even know, is that even just a towel? Like, it's very different. Like, they're showing up there. People are showing up just to witness Caitlin Clark. It's like she's the damn Beatles.
Do you wish to discuss psychological dominance? Due to a back issue, Angel Reese missed 2 games in a row. Even if she had been well though, she would have watched thousands of Chicago fans greet her fiercest opponent like visiting royalty during the pregame. That goes beyond simply losing a basketball match. That would be the world itself questioning your whole home court advantage. In order to accommodate the enormous audiences that Caitlin Clark attracts, the game was moved to the United Center. About 10,000 people can fit in the original Windrust Arena, where the Sky typically performs. Even though Clark excels at winning games and putting up numbers when healthy, it's not all about that. It involves producing such a powerful gravitational pull that your mere presence may completely change the ambience of an arena. It all comes down to being so captivating that rival club supporters will queue up to get your autograph as their own squad warms up in the background.
CC get treated like MJ in the rack. Oh my God. Caitlin Clark getting treated like Derrick Rose, Michael Jordan, Chief Keef, Lil Durk, all of them. Caitlin Clark took over Chicago. She signed autographs for hours. This wasn't no extras that was paid to come stand in the scene. No, these were real people trying to get autographs. And then we got Ice Cube bombing on Angel Reese, talking about, man, she's not worth the money that Caitlin Clark was worth. Caitlin Clark unlocked millions for the WNBA.
The extent to which the Fever dominated in the absence of their finest player added to the victory's impressiveness. Aaliyah Boston scored 14 points, pulled down 11 rebounds, and dished out 6 assists. Ari McDonald contributed 10 points, and Michaela Timpson scored 14 points off the bench. This was a whole team effort that demonstrated the breadth and depth of a franchise that has created something unique around Clark's celebrity. Mitchell scored 13 points as the Fever ended the first quarter on an 18-2 surge to take a 26-13 lead. This went beyond simply beating the Sky. This was beating them so badly that it seemed to be a commentary about how these two franchises had developed as a whole. The Fever defeated Chicago by double digits for the third time this season, improving to 14-12. The Sky dropped to 718, capping a season that has been more characterized by their wasted opportunities than their successes.